December 31st, 1989. Sandringham Estate. Princess Diana locked her bedroom door. It was nearly midnight. The royal family was celebrating New Year's Eve downstairs. But Diana couldn't bear another moment of pretending. She picked up her mobile phone and dialed. A man answered. His voice warm, caring, everything Charles wasn't. "Squidgy?" he called her. Diana laughed, relaxed, started talking. She had no idea that somewhere, someone was recording every word. And that 3 years later, those words would destroy her. But here's what the world doesn't know. The Squidgy tapes weren't the only recording. There were others. Dozens of them. Diana's phones had been compromised for years. Every call monitored, every conversation recorded, every secret captured. This wasn't random eavesdropping. This was systematic surveillance. But by whom? And why? The answer is more sinister than anyone imagined. To understand the scale of surveillance, you need to understand 1989. Diana's marriage was collapsing. Charles was openly seeing Camilla. Diana was fighting back, talking to journalists, planning revenge. The establishment was terrified. What if Diana went public? What if she exposed the truth about the royal family? They needed insurance. They needed leverage. They needed Diana's secrets. So they took them. The technology existed. MI5 had been intercepting phone calls for decades, monitoring threats to national security. And in 1989, Diana was considered a threat, not to Britain, but to the monarchy. She was unpredictable, emotional, damaged. She might say anything, do anything. So the decision was made. Monitor her communications, record everything, keep it as insurance, in case Diana needed to be controlled. But here's the shocking detail. It wasn't just MI5. Multiple groups were listening. Intelligence services, tabloid newspapers, private investigators, even palace insiders. Diana's phones were a goldmine of information. Everyone wanted access. Some for security, some for profit, some for blackmail. Diana's private life became public property, sold to the highest bidder, used by whoever needed leverage. The Squidgy tape was just the beginning. That recording with James Gilby on New Year's Eve 1989. Diana complaining about the royal family, talking about masturbation, criticizing Charles, calling him names. It was intimate, embarrassing, perfect for destroying Diana's reputation. But it was kept secret. Hidden for 3 years, until August 1992, when Diana published her truth in Andrew Morton's book. Then the tape was leaked, punishment for speaking out. But there were other tapes that never became public. Diana talking to her lovers, to her therapist, to her friends, everything recorded, everything stored, everything available to use if needed. Diana suspected she was being monitored. She would check her rooms for bugs, use payphones, speak in code. But it didn't matter. They always found a way to listen. She was never safe, never private, never free. One recording was particularly damaging. Diana talking to a journalist, giving background information for a story, criticizing palace staff, naming names, exposing secrets. The palace got the tape, confronted Diana, threatened her. "We know what you're doing. We know who you're talking to. Stop. All these tapes become public." Diana was terrified, trapped. They had evidence of everything. They could destroy her anytime they wanted. The technical details are chilling. Diana's mobile phone was easy to intercept. 1980s technology was primitive. Analog signals that anyone with a scanner could pick up. But it wasn't just random hobbyists listening. These were professionals, using sophisticated equipment, multiple receivers, recording devices, creating archives of Diana's conversations, building a file that could be weaponized when needed. But here's the conspiracy that few people discuss. Who authorized the surveillance? MI5 doesn't just start monitoring royals without permission. Someone gave the order, someone in power, someone who saw Diana as a threat. Was it the Queen? Prince Philip? Charles himself? Or someone else entirely? The truth was buried, classified, hidden behind official Secrets Acts. But someone made the decision to violate Diana's privacy, and that someone was never held accountable. The Camillagate tapes proved it wasn't just Diana. Charles was being monitored too. His explicit phone sex conversation with Camilla in 1989. Recorded. Kept released in 1992. Right after the Squidgy Tapes. Too convenient to be coincidence. Someone had tapes of both Charles and Diana. Someone was playing both sides, using the recordings as weapons in the War of the Waleses. But who? And what was their end game? Diana's paranoia intensified. She started writing letters, predicting her own death. They're planning an accident in my car. Brake failure, a serious head injury. To make the path clear for Charles to marry. People dismissed these letters as the ravings of a paranoid woman. But Diana wasn't paranoid. She was being watched, monitored, threatened. She knew too much, had too much evidence, and that made her dangerous. The scale of surveillance was massive, not just phone calls. Diana's letters were being opened, her rooms searched, her staff interrogated. She couldn't trust anyone. Every conversation potentially recorded, every action potentially watched. Diana felt like she was losing her mind. But she wasn't crazy. Everything she feared was true. She was living in a surveillance state, and she was the target. One former MI5 officer spoke anonymously years later. Diana was considered a security risk, not because she was dangerous, but because she was unpredictable. We were ordered to monitor her communications, keep files, report anything concerning. It was standard procedure for high-risk individuals. But Diana wasn't a terrorist, she was a princess, and we treated her like an enemy of the state. The tapes revealed intimate details. Diana's bulimia, her suicide attempts, her affairs, her hatred of the royal family. Everything she said in private, thinking she was safe, was recorded, stored, available to use against her. When the Squidgy Tapes were published, Diana realized the truth. Nothing was private. Everything could be weaponized. She would never be safe as long as she remained in the royal family. But here's the detail that changes everything. The Squidgy Tapes weren't accidentally recorded. They were deliberately leaked. But not by MI5. By someone else. Someone with access to intelligence files. Someone who wanted to damage Diana. The timing proves it. Released right after Morton's book. Right when Diana was gaining public sympathy. The tapes were meant to destroy her credibility, make her look unstable, promiscuous, unfit. It was a coordinated attack. Diana suspected Prince Philip. He had written her harsh letters, calling her behavior disgraceful, threatening consequences. He had the authority to access MI5 files, the connections to make things happen, and the motivation. Diana was threatening the monarchy, Philip's life's work, his legacy. She needed to be stopped, and the tapes were the perfect weapon. But Diana could never prove it, could never find evidence, could only suspect. And fear. The surveillance continued after the divorce. Diana hired her own security, swept her rooms for bugs, changed phones constantly, but they always found a way. New technology, new methods. Diana couldn't escape. In her final year, she was more paranoid than ever, checking over her shoulder, whispering in public, writing everything down instead of speaking. She knew they were watching, knew they were listening, knew they would use anything against her. The night Diana died, her phones disappeared, her mobile, her address book, her personal belongings, taken from the crash site, never returned to her family. The official explanation was that they were destroyed in the accident, but Diana's friends don't believe it. They think the phones were seized, examined, to see what Diana knew, what she had recorded, what evidence she might have gathered, and then destroyed, to protect whoever was watching her. Mohammed Al-Fayed spent millions trying to prove Diana was murdered. He claimed the surveillance proved a conspiracy, that Diana knew too much, that she was going to expose royal secrets, and she was killed to silence her. Multiple investigations found no evidence of murder, just a drunk driver and a tragic accident. But the surveillance was real. The tapes were real. Someone was watching Diana, right up until the moment she died. The Squidgy Tapes are still available online. Anyone can listen. Hear Diana's voice, her vulnerability, her fear. But those tapes are just fragments, just one conversation from thousands that were recorded. The full archive remains classified, locked in MI5 vaults, protected by official secrets. What else did Diana say? What other secrets were captured? We'll never know, because those tapes will never be released. Too dangerous, too damaging, too truthful. In 2006, a security review examined Diana's surveillance. The report remains classified, but sources who saw it described extensive monitoring of Diana's communications. Multiple agencies involved, serious breaches of privacy, recommendations were made, protocols changed, but Diana couldn't benefit. She was dead, killed in a tunnel in Paris, while someone somewhere had tapes of every conversation she'd ever had, every secret she'd ever shared, every fear she'd ever expressed. Prince William was furious when he learned about the surveillance. His mother had been watched, monitored, violated by the very institutions that were supposed to protect her. He demanded answers, demanded accountability, but the official response was silence. Matter of national security. Cannot comment. Classified information. William learned what Diana had known. The system protects itself. Always. At any cost. Harry went further. He left Britain partially because of surveillance concerns. He said he and Meghan were being watched. Phones monitored, privacy invaded, history repeating itself. The same tactics used on his mother, now being used on his wife. Harry refused to let it happen again, refused to let Meghan suffer what Diana suffered. So he left, gave up everything, to escape the surveillance state his mother never could. The real scandal of the secret tapes isn't that Diana was recorded, it's that she was never told, never warned, never given a chance to protect herself. The surveillance was systematic, authorized, legal under British law. Diana had no privacy rights, no protection. As a member of the royal family, she was considered public property, her communications subject to monitoring, her life an open book, for anyone with the right security clearance. Today, the technology is even more sophisticated. Digital surveillance, hacking, metadata collection. If Diana were alive now, she'd be even more vulnerable, more monitored, more exposed. The surveillance state she lived in was primitive compared to today's capabilities. But the principle is the same. Watch, record, control, and if necessary, destroy, using the person's own words against them. The Squidgy Tapes destroyed Diana's reputation, but they revealed something more important. The system's willingness to weaponize privacy violations, to use intimate conversations as weapons, to punish anyone who threatens the status quo. Diana was punished for speaking truth, for wanting freedom, for refusing to suffer in silence. The tapes were her punishment, her warning, her cage. From Diana's letter to her lawyer, 1996, I know they're listening. I know they're watching. I've known for years. Every phone call potentially recorded. Every letter potentially opened. Every room potentially bugged. People think I'm paranoid, but I'm not. I'm realistic. They have tapes of me. Conversations I thought were private. They've threatened to release them if I don't cooperate, if I don't stay quiet. But I'm tired of being quiet. Tired of being controlled. So let them release the tapes. Let the world hear the truth, that I was monitored, violated, treated like a criminal for the crime of wanting to be free. The final image of the surveillance story is a locked vault, deep in MI5 headquarters. Inside are tapes, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Diana's voice, captured forever, saying things she never intended to be public, sharing secrets she thought were safe. The tapes sit there, classified, protected, never to be released. because they contain truths the establishment doesn't want known. About how Diana was treated, how she was violated, how the system protects itself by destroying anyone who threatens it. Diana's tapes are evidence, not of her wrongdoing, but of theirs. And that's why they'll never see the light of day. Some secrets are too dangerous to reveal, even decades later. Even after everyone involved is dead, the tapes remain, a testament to surveillance, to violation, to the price Diana paid for being herself, in a system that demanded she be someone else, forever.